What's up, everybody? It's Witch Dr. Aspen coming to you from my beautiful cluttered office in Phoenix. It's not really that cluttered. It's just full of art stuff. It's nice. You can walk around in here. It's nice. It just looks cluttered because the desk is full of a bunch of baubles and cuteness. Okay, if you're here, you already know what's going on. It is day 3 of Mercury Retrograde. And that means it's day 3 of my Mercury Retrograde self-care, self-love journey. And today we're getting deep. Today we are going for it. But first, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? So I am making the most out of this Mercury Retrograde because a lot of people think this is a time to hunker down and just get through it as Mercury goes fucking crazy and is in Gatorade or whatever, and people don't understand what that means. No, Mercury is not in reverse cowgirl. No, she's not moving backwards in the sky. It only appears that way. No, the world is not ending. Well, at least not because of Mercury. It's just a time to clean out the closet and refresh, recuperate, reassess. Just all of those nice R words having to do with like reevaluating what the fuck is going on in yourself and in your life. I am doing this journey through using 2 tools. 1, the Mercury Retrograde Journal, and 2, some spam's calling me. Bad spam. I'm using 2 tools. The Mercury Retrograde Journal by Maja Todorovic. I'm just gonna stumble over this every single time. Mercury Retrograde Journal, 21 Days to Blossom into Your True Self. This has now become my Mercury Retrograde Bible. I love this. It is making me reassess myself deeply, which I cannot be more grateful for. And because I wanted to prioritize self-care, loving myself more deeply, I decided to incorporate the self-care planner by Mira Lester. I got this at a Five Below. It was literally $5, and I cannot tell you enough how great it is. You can start at any month, at any week, because you can literally fill it in for yourself right here in the dates. So like you do it how you want to do it, and you could do it for a month, you could do it for 2 months, you could do it for the whole year. Literally, this is all about prioritizing self-care through your week and not the things you need to do, because we all get caught in that, and then our self-care gets put on the back burner, and then we lose ourselves because we're not taking care of ourselves. So I've decided to use both of these wonderful tools in my journey of making the most out of my Mercury Retrograde experience. Today's journal prompt is remolding anger into positivity, or actually productivity. Positivity, productivity, kind of the same thing, especially when it comes to my story, which I'm going to share today about remolding anger. With Mercury Retrograde, we can easily lose ourselves in anger and become unproductive as we complain or feel irritated with all happening around us. Yeah, that's that hunker down through Mercury Retrograde and just hope that it doesn't spank you super hard. Anger, however, can become motivation, a fuel for solving and approaching problems differently. Write down what has made you really angry and what you did with that anger. What can you do differently next time anger emerges in your awareness? The last time that I was angry for days, pissed off, was when my former friend and former roommate decided to show her true colors. This girl, when I first met her, she was homeless, she was broke, she didn't really have friends or support system, she did not have people that she could rely on. And so I opened my life, my heart, and then eventually my home to this girl that I thought needed help. And it wasn't any of her own doing. I mean, the recipe was perfect for her to be out on her ass. Her mother had just died, her brother wasn't well, mentally or emotionally, so it's not like he was going to be able to provide grounding or support or anything for her during this first year of no longer having her mother. And to make everything more complicated, the woman that raised her, her mother, wasn't actually even her mother. Her real mother is in an institution for the rest of her life because of her own mental health issues. So from so much of the get-go, I was like, what can I do to help this young woman? Our relationship progressed and we got very, very close. And she decided that her own mental health issues, rather than work on them, but to enable them and to wallow in them, was a better option than getting help or changing herself or doing any of the things that she needed to do. And it's not like I wasn't modeling it for her. I was, actively seeking mental health help. I was actively trying to change and better myself. I was actively moving through my shortcomings and the challenges that had been presented to me. She was not. The first time that I was extremely angry at her is the eve of my birthday. She comes into my bedroom and she announces to me and my partner that she is not only moving out, that she is going to unalive herself. That's right, happy birthday to me. I'm moving out and I'm killing myself. So of course, I was very upset. I was very upset for a number of reasons. One, this is not what you do. This is a terrible cry for help. This is not how you get help. How would that not be triggering or upsetting to somebody? Number two, happy birthday to me. What kind of friend are you? That this is this is how you're telling me that this is such a major problem in your life. This is how you're going to tell me. And then number three, you're moving and then you're going to kill yourself. None of it made any logical sense to me. I was so upset. And I told her that if this is how she was going to behave, that if she was going to leave, then she needed to leave and I didn't want to have contact with her anymore because of course, why would you? I'm like, this is not healthy. This is not a friend to me. This is not any of those things. This is not you asking for help. This is attention seeking. And I was extremely upset with her. Extremely upset with her. The whole thing was just absolutely ridiculous. We were able to move past it to some degree. And she stayed for a couple months longer. When she finally did leave, it was the day before my precious cat passed away. So I'm so happy that she was gone and wasn't there while I needed to go through this extreme grieving process of very quickly losing a sick animal that got sick very quickly and died very quickly after getting sick. But the second time that I was that angry at her is when she announces to my partner while I was not at home, that she would be moving out. And she moved out in 12 hours. She moved everything out of the home in 12 hours. And she acted as if it was a burden on her to be in the home, as if everything that my partner and I were doing was burdensome to her or too difficult for her to deal with. The truth of the matter is that the rest of the house was spotless while her room was an absolute pigsty. She absolutely neglected the dog that she had. She absolutely trashed everything that she touched. And she did not, unfortunately, provide value to any situation. She was not giving of herself in any situation. She was a taker. She was taking everything out of any situation. Any situation that she could gain from, she was there. But if it required anything of her in return, then it was no. I was so hurt by this behavior. I was so hurt. I felt so angry. I felt betrayed. I felt like I couldn't trust anybody anymore. I felt so foolish for having let this person into my world in any capacity, especially because after she left and did not get the reaction that she wanted out of me, she wanted me to be angry and spiteful and, vindictive and in her face about it. And I didn't. I pretended as if she did not exist because I was not going to feed into the toxicity that she had created or that she was feeding in and of herself. I wasn't going to play into that game. So I pretended as if she did not exist and she was not part of my life. Unfortunately, I did have to see her in social occasions, social gatherings several times. And every single time she was awkward and weird. She tried to initiate conversation with me. All of it was just more infuriating. All of that story to tell you how I got over it and to form anger into productivity. You see, the emotion of anger, people want to stay away from it because it's intense and it's overbearing, but that power is where the magic is. Anger is an extremely powerful emotion. It can be used as a motivator. Anger is a fucking powerful motivator. We can see in stories, in hero's journey stories, where their parents are their parents are murdered, making them an orphan, and that anger is their motivation to become a great warrior and avenge their deaths. That's an archetype that we're all aware of, and an archetype is just a character profile. So that's a character profile that we're all very well aware of. But anger isn't just a motivator because of vengeance. Anger is a motivator truly because it shows us where our rights are being violated or where boundaries are being broken. If we have a certain expectation of how we need to be treated or respected, and that is broken or violated in any way, of course we're going to become angered. And that anger can be a productive motivator to create more boundaries and have more healthy limitations around us so that we're better teaching people how to treat us. I used my anger in this situation as a motivator to fully heal myself and become the best version of myself that I could. I wasn't going to let this hold me back. I wasn't going to let this make it so I couldn't trust people. And it's honestly the most ironic part of it is that as soon as she left, she took all of her negative energy with her and all of the black void that was her space, and it left. And immediately new people came in to fill that space. So the motivation for me was knowing that there are better people out there, ones that are going to be more in alignment with me, ones that are going to follow the teachings that I believe are powerful, ones that are going to just be on the same playing field as me and on the same level, and be way more open-minded than she ever was to what I was trying to share with her and help her in her mental health, in her emotional health, and in her grieving process. Oh, and the energy I took back for myself too, because now that she was gone, I had so much more time and energy for me, myself, and what was important to me. Because I didn't have to be wasting it on somebody who didn't really care in the long run. I used anger to become productive because I suddenly had time and energy to focus on me. So rather than letting myself stew in the anger, I decided to allow that to be the new passionate energy I was putting behind my projects. Every time something reminded me of this girl, every time something came up, I used that as motivation to put more energy into my projects and into myself. I was not letting her have any more of my energy. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I decided that to be productive was to use all of that energy that I put into caring about her, into making sure she was okay, into feeding her codependency on my partner and I. All of that went into me now. And I've gotten so much done because of it. I've started a support group for women in my community. I've done several sessions with new clients. Like, things have been really good. I have been extremely productive. And I feel like being that angry at that time taught me a lot about the power of my emotions and how it was okay to feel them and then let them go. Because as soon as I allowed myself to feel the anger that I was feeling in this situation, it was able to be released and let go. And now I don't have any energy towards it. I don't care. And not in a callous way, but in the most loving way possible. I just don't have any more energy to give to that. And I'm so much happier from it and for it. I don't know what's going on in her life. I don't care to know. I don't know if she's happy. I don't care. I don't care if she's getting help. I don't care. That is her path. That anger was such a powerful motivator into me understanding my emotions and where my energy comes from and what energy I'm giving to a situation. That was the motivator to be productive. I'm going to be more productive now because of being angry that way, productive in the way that I conduct my relationships, productive in the way that I conduct myself, productive in the way that I approach all my projects, because I'm more aware of the energy that I'm giving to those and what I am receiving from those and the people that I interact with as well. My self-care for this day was family day. Sundays are family days in my house. So I've already been in the pool. We're making dinner. We're hanging out with the family. Everyone's being quiet so I can film this video. I'm cooking dinner, which is fantastic. I love to cook and I love cooking for my family. And we're all about to go play in the pool. So I got to finish up this video quickly so that we can all be loud and play in the pool and have family day. The theme for this week is to, in the self-care planner, is to recite a calming mantra. So I'm going to be using the mantras from my meditation yesterday while I'm playing in the pool, while I'm chilling and having a couple drinks, while my thoughts are just kind of looping through. I'm going to just randomly remind myself of those mantras and speak them out into existence. I'm opening myself to believing more that anything is possible. And I'm being more open to receive. The one mantra, though, that I am focusing on is I am worthy. I'm worthy of everything I want. Period. I'm being more open to receive. And I'm trusting that spirit and the universe truly has my back. I mean, it's funny to hear, like, witch doctor doesn't always trust that the spirit, like, I do. But I'm really, really, really putting energy into fully releasing and trusting completely that the universe always has my back, that there's so many things I don't have to worry about, that the universe will do that for me. Thank you all so much for being part of my video today, day 3 of Mercury Retrograde. And thank you so much for listening to my story about anger. It took a lot for me to share that because I really don't want to be talking shit about somebody I don't like. I know that seems counterintuitive, but I just don't want to waste my energy on something like that. So, but this felt very cathartic and therapeutic to share this all with you and explain how anger can be used as a motivator to be more productive. So I want to ask you, when was the last time you were really, really, really angry? When was that last time? And what did you do to reassess that anger? Because now I know that the next time that I'm really, really, really fucking angry about something, it's because I'm putting way too much energy into it and I'm not getting the energy that I deserve back. Pretty straightforward. How can you reassess your anger? What can you do that's different the next time that you're very, very, very angry? And what can you do to check your energy? Okay, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by. I can't wait to see you for day 4. Mwah!